favorite pastime has returned, ladies and gentlemen. This week, we'll see, smell, freshly cut grass, pigskin being thrown in the air, pants popping, Nick Saban giving out orders. That's right, folks, spring football. Spring football returns to the University of Alabama on Friday of this week. You, of course, locked and loaded, getting your work week started on what is the hottest show in the streets, the best form of Alabama football news, notes, and information. In my own words, the podcast with yours truly, Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. As always, the show more than just me. My man John Ivory, call him JP, but the man John Ivory handling the ones and twos, making sure that we look good, sound good, feel good every single time. We are streaming this to you, not just through YouTube, but also through Twitter. Coming to you from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And as always, we encourage you each and every time to drop a thumbs up, give a like on the show, and hit that subscribe button. That tells us at TDA to continue providing you, the fans, with the best news, notes, information, and content on your favorite football program, that being the Alabama Crimson Tide. It's because of you that we're over 8,000. That's right, over 8,000 subscribers strong on YouTube. So definitely want to continue to encourage you to help us grow the network, channel, and brand. As always, got some big topics to dive into. We'll start off with a few updates, and then we'll discuss what positional unit, aside from quarterback, everybody loves the quarterback room, but aside from quarterback, which positional unit are you the most excited to see this spring? We'll get into that. From there, we'll dive into a preview of the inside linebackers. What can we look forward to seeing from the inside linebackers in the upcoming season? And then last but not least, we'll touch on Dr. Matt Rhea and athletic trainer Jeff Allen. The two are meshing well. We got a dynamic duo together in terms of sports science in Tuscaloosa. This is going to be fun for this spring and the upcoming season. But starting things off here with some updates as we got the stuff on screen for you right now. First and foremost, people I've mentioned, spring ball starts this Friday, March 13th. Alabama gets back to Thomas Drew Field, pigskin flying, pads popping, helmets clanging. Nick Saban giving out orders. Spring ball returns this Friday, March 13th. Of course, yours truly of Touchdown Alabama Magazine will be out there getting all the news, notes, photos, videos, all types of content in terms of the first day of spring ball. There'll be 15 practices, with the A-Day game on April 18th being the last one, but spring ball starts on Friday. Also, how about former Alabama quarterback Tua Tagovailoa? More positive news in terms of his right hip. He aced. He won the 4-month scan testing today. The 4-month scan got positive news there. And according to NFL insider Ian Rappaport and ESPN's Laura Rutledge, Tua has been cleared medically to start working out in terms of the NFL draft. So big news there for one, Tua Tagovailoa. And then last but not least, the Crimson Tide picked up a huge verbal commitment for its 2022 signing class in the form of 4-star defensive lineman Jeremiah Alexander at 6'2", 222 pounds, the young man from Thompson High School in Alabaster, Alabama. So Nick Saban already getting things started for 2022, picking up a huge name there, verbal commitment from one Jeremiah Alexander. But we dive into the first topic of conversation, that being the position group. Which positional unit has you hyped up, excited, ready to go for spring ball? We're all excited about the quarterback room on Friday. There'll be about 90% of the media cameras around Mac Jones, Bryce Young, Talia Tagovailoa, Paul Tyson. I can't lie, my camera will be in the quarterback room, seeing those guys on the field. But aside from that position, the group that has me the most excited, the most on my feet when you talk spring ball, the defensive line. I am really excited about this defensive line in the start in the spring, and to have Freddie Roach, who was from this state, from Killen, Alabama. Freddie Roach, who played inside linebacker for the Crimson Tide from 2001 to 2005, at a time where playing at Alabama was not the most popular thing. Played here anyway and had a huge career. A guy in Freddie Roach that was a part of Nick Saban's coaching staff twice before, 2008 to 2010 as a assistant strength coach, and then 2015 to 2016, a director of player development. 2009 and 2015, he was a part of 2 national championship teams, and he's got experience coaching defensive linemen. Did it for 3 years at Ole Miss from 2017 to 2019. Did it in 2 years at South Alabama, coaching defensive ends 2013 and 2014. So to have Coach Roach back at Alabama is a big deal. And he is going to get that dog mentality out of everybody on this defensive front. And the good thing about it is, despite all the talent he's going to get a chance to work with, the one alpha male that's going to really push this thing in motion is Christian Barmore. Christian Barmore, redshirt sophomore, 6'5", 310 pounds, out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is somebody, if I had to give a comparison for him in terms of former Alabama players, he's a young A'Shawn Robinson. Young, mean, angry, dominant, passionate. When Christian Barmore's on the field, I kid you not, people, when he's on the field, there is a tangible energy, there is a tangible chemistry, there is just something electrifying when he's on that field. The coaches feel it, the players feel it, of course, you the fans feel it. There is something about when Christian Barmore's on that field, you know a big play is about to happen. A sack is about to happen. A negative play is about to happen. Something good is about to happen because number 58 has touched this field. That's just how pivotal and how vital Christian Barmore is. I mean, when he wasn't on the field last year, you could tell it bothered him. And that's the type of cat you want on your team. When he is not on the field, it bothers him. When Barmore was not in action, he would be on the sideline, fidgeting, anxious, anxiety, jumping up and down. He's like, put me on this field. I'm ready to hop in the frying pan. I'm a Lil Wayne. I got that hustler music. Let's go. That's how Christian Barmore was. He wanted to get on the football field. And when he was on the field, you could feel it. A big play coming. You could feel it. A sack happening. You could feel it. A tackle for loss. And when you talk to players about him, they say, man, there is something different about Barmore. He's got that energy. He's got that swagger. He's got that passion. He's got that tough mindset. Like, everybody rallies around that young man. He gives so much of himself, not just to the team, but to the game of football as a whole. So, having that type of guy as the alpha male of that positional group, really huge there for Freddie Roach as the coach of the defensive line. Christian Barmore this past season, 26 tackles as a redshirt freshman, 6 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 5 quarterback hurries, made the freshman All-Southeastern Conference team, and just a big-time factor. And though LeBron Ray is the eldest of the group, right? LeBron Ray is back for his redshirt junior year. Though LeBron Ray is the old man of the group, Christian Barmore is the speaker of the group. He's the leader of the group. He's the force of the group. He's set to have a monster year. And he posted a tweet on social media over the weekend, and the tweet said, "This year will be the story." Once again, Christian Barmore, this year will be the story. So he's already foretelling you this. He's already foreshadowing the picture to you, Crimson Tide fans, on what he is going to look to do starting off in the spring and going into the 2020 season. So very excited for Barmore. And he comes in a lineage of fierce, tenacious, dominant defensive linemen when you talk Terrence Cody, Marcel Darius, Damian Square, Nick Gentry. Down the line, you got Ashawn Robinson, Jaron Reed, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Dalvin Tomlinson, Isaiah Buggs, Quentin Williams. Just a long lineage of defensive linemen that when you look at them, you go, oh no, what's about to happen to me? I mean, Christian Barmore is about to give it to every offensive lineman, give it to every quarterback that he's going to face in the upcoming season. And when you look at just the defensive line as a whole that, of course, Freddie Roach gets to work with, not just Barmore. You have LeBron Ray. You have DJ Dale back. You have Justin Aboigbe back, Byron Young, Ishmael Sopsher, Braylon Ingram, Stephon Wynn. Of course, you've got some guys coming in the summer, but since we're just focusing on the spring, those guys there I just mentioned all are back. And when you discuss just previous defensive line coaches that have had success, I mean, Carl Dunbar did pretty good. Carl Dunbar had success when he was here at Alabama. Craig Kulagowski had success with the likes of Isaiah Buggs and Quentin Williams. He did put Quentin Williams on the map. Craig Kulagowski did. And even you wanted to see more from Brian Baker. You definitely wanted to see more. He did some things. He had experience, but you want to see more from Brian Baker, but it is what it is. But the main guy that really, set Alabama fans on fire in terms of the defensive line coaching was Bo Davis, who had two different stints with the Crimson Tide. The first stint from 2007 to 2010. The second stint from, of course, 2013 or 2014, through 2015. So, I mean, Bo Davis made the biggest impact, made the most impact. But when you look at Freddie Roach, what he's going to have a chance to work with, what he has a chance to bring, what he has a chance to offer, he's old enough to understand the attention to detail. He's old enough to understand how to pull the most out of each player. He's old enough to understand how to do things the right way and to coach to the standard that Nick Saban will have of him to do. But yet he's also young enough to identify with these players. He's young enough to understand these players. He's young enough to vibe with these players. Most importantly, he's young enough to pull an emotion out of these guys on the defensive line that's going to make them want to go out, that's going to make them want to go out on the field and have that success. I was talking to a close friend of mine a couple of days ago, and he talked about how when you have the ability to relate well to young men, when you can convince young men that you are on their side as a coach, not just on the field, but in the locker room, in the classroom, in the community, when they can come to you with their issues, when they can come to you with their problems and you pour of yourself into them, understand them, communicate with them, and identify with them, then those guys will be willing and ready to run through a brick wall for you being that coach. So, Freddie Roach getting a chance to work with these defensive linemen this season. I'm excited for this position group. I think this group takes a big step forward, especially after, not being as dominant, not being as tenacious, not being as ferocious in the previous season. So big ups to Coach Roach as he gets to work with this group, headlined by one Christian Barmore, who once again, folks said, this year will be the story, and seeing 58 on the field wreak havoc. Going to be fun to watch. Well, folks, that's going to take us to our first break here on In My Own Words, the podcast. Just getting started. Upon our return, we dive into your phone calls, tweets, text messages, and thoughts in the chat line right after this.
Every sports fan deserves deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $5.95 per month or pay $49.95 for a full year subscription. That's a saving of almost $22. Make sure to subscribe before it's too late and get our new freshly printed end of the year magazine issue. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.